I'm Jenny Klochko and you're watching my Monday live and where we discuss Sunday interview, your questions, comments and everything what's you left there for me and exchanging some ideas. So I just remind you that yesterday I published the interview with Doug Klain. He's from Rasom for Ukraine and from Atlantic Council Eurasia. He's non-residential fellow. So obviously I wanted him because he's located in Washington DC. He's expert on different peculiarities of American politics, what's happening in DC, what we should expect. Yes, we speculated on Donald Trump inauguration, what's coming, what we're expecting. Doug is not a Trump supporter, and you could see there. And those who are against Trump, you probably felt better. There were some of you who passionately disagree, and you let me know in the comment, and I'm grateful for that. Well done. So it was just the main focus of our conversation was Donald Trump, his promises. And if you follow, you probably remember that Donald Trump first promised to finish the war in 24 hours, and then the latest was 6 months. So I guess you've seen inauguration, or at least looked through the news feed, and I'm curious what was interesting for you, or which are his promises either important for you if you're his supporter, or you are most irritated, upset and frustrated about. Please let me know in the comments. We'll have a look at it. I was obviously waiting for the mentioning to Ukraine, some peace talks, and he said, not specifically mention Ukraine, but he promised to be a peacemaker on his way to make America great again and make people rich and proud, which seems like a good idea. Let's see how he's gonna make that true. I guess our viewer Henry Ford was watching, celebrating, dancing. Thank you, Henry, for posting the link to Trump's dancing. Very exciting. I appreciate it. Now it's next time. Please post the video with your dancing. Would be nice to see. So yes, what do you think of his speech? Please, please, please let me know. I want to see them. And do you know, today I was preparing for this short and easy live, and I know how many people criticize Trump, and he's difficult, in my opinion, to like. He doesn't really resonate with me, but I was trying today to find one thing about Trump positive for me, and I come up with one. I didn't know him as a person, but as a strong character of his media profile is a macho man. The man who speaks with the strength, and he shows, and there's a lot of body language involved in this macho thing. And I hope he won't be manipulated and he won't be blackmailed, because every time when Putin was trying to threaten or remind about his nuclear bombs and this and that, I found this frustrating and irritating. I have low tolerance for weak people, especially on the important, powerful jobs. And I hope Donald Trump won't be like that. He will be speaking with Putin or the people from Putin team, instead of with different approach. Let's see how he's gonna be strong and proactive and so on and so forth. So let me know what you think. Again, if you're not supporting Donald Trump, is there one little thing you would agree or describe it as a positive of his, the positive feature of his character? And so let me know. I'll have a look at the chat, definitely. Yes, as for my interview with Doug, I wanted to go through things, for example, how good he thinks with his expertise, experience and knowledge of American politics, if he's going to be a good president for Ukraine, Donald Trump. And you know, oh, Trump, look, oh, welcome. You missed the Trump speech? Oh, I'm sorry. This time you made it. Yes, yes, you did. You made it. Oh, fantastic. Welcome to live. Do you know, well, I'm sure there will be cuts of his speech, and you will let me know later, because it is really interesting for me. And one of my American friends, and he's teasing Donald Trump. Obviously, he's the other side. He's not from the Trump supporters. He says Trump speaks is like year 4, I think, in American, sort of like grade 4, right? So, but it's politics, the same as journalism. You should be close to people. You should be, it's not like justification, but as long as people understand you and as long as they're supporting you, so probably you won or you achieved your aim. Okay, so with Doug, there were important moments for me to talk it through, especially we have English-speaking audience. And we have mainly, it depends on the video, but it's number one, either British or American audience. And I wanted to talk it through with American audience that supporting Ukraine and Ukraine's victory is actually cheaper for American. Quite positive. We just don't know what to expect. Trump Flug says, I'm aware Ukrainians are quite positive about Trump. Here in Germany, I read a lot of voices which expect 4 years of chaos. Strongman chaos, if you will. Right. Evil to Hope says Trump will make America great again. Well, hope so. We all want America to be great, kind, supportive and strong. Look, we don't know, Trump, look, we don't know what to expect in Ukraine from Trump, because on one hand, when I was talking to the military officers and everyone else, and they said the first military aid they received during Trump's presidency, so it means a lot. But at the same time, let's not forget, when he wanted Ukraine to open investigations against Trump's son, he was blackmailed and he was blocking the military aid and try to push President Zelensky into the situation which he didn't want to be. So, are we positive? I don't know. To Evil to Hope says, we need a strong power to stand up to China. Well, we need strong power to stand up to Putin as well. Yes, I mean, this is the time in history when we need all strong leaders. We don't need leaders who is just calling and able to make a call and promise to his colleagues that, oh, actually, everything is fine, right? From a Twisted Mind band, I hope Ukraine gives Trump either the finger, oh, or two-fingered English salute, because Trump does not have Ukraine interest at heart. Well, Ukraine not into position give any fingers to anybody. Let's be honest. And none of the American presidents were actually good for Ukraine and had any interest of Ukraine. And this is what happened in my interview with Doug Klain. When I looked back, and George Bush Sr., he was a great Gorbachev supporter. And when he came to Ukraine and he had his speech in the parliament, he was actually criticizing Ukraine for attempts to be independent, to keep identity, and basically he was shaming people for being nationalistic and hated. We didn't hate anyone, we just wanted to be independent, not being occupied. But apparently, check his Chicken Kiev speech, and you will see everything. The other thing also, Bill Clinton helped Ukraine to get rid of nuclear bombs and get the security insurance or guarantees, which never worked. We know Budapest Memorandum. Who was next? Bill Clinton. So Obama, so favorite and likable Obama. Do you eat chicken sandwiches? Well, I do eat. Why? I like salad sandwiches. Matthew was asking me, do I eat chicken sandwiches? I do, but I prefer salad from Ukraine. Send Zelensky to the front lines. He wants to fight so badly. Zelensky doesn't want to be occupied, and none of us want to be occupied and destroyed like in the concentration camps, like the Soviets did to us. That's what the Russians want Ukraine without Ukrainians, so that's the truth. Who is Trump to dictate any terms for peace regards Ukraine? Well, Trump, he can blackmail Ukraine with military aid. That's his biggest. I believe Ukraine's best interest lay in their own interests with the EU, within NATO. Yes, I agree, absolutely agree with you. US without US, absolutely. Yeah, from a twisted mind band viewer, yes, we do belong in the European community with NATO and everything. But the facts are, America gives the most of the military aid. France, for example, who is so enthusiastic with strong messages, they don't even make into 5 top European givers of military aid. As you know, in Germany, Olaf Scholz just blocked military aid for Ukraine, and he had conflict with the defense minister. So yes, of course, we don't want to, we, like Ukraine, doesn't want anybody to interfere. But at the moment, Ukraine relies on military and financial aid. Will Ukraine recover after the war? Of course we will. We recovered after Second World War. We recovered after 2 Holodomors. We will, of course we will. You know, you need to go to Kiev right now, and I'll explain you why. When I go to Kiev, you know, due to work and being there, not just Kiev, you can, even if you're afraid, you can stay in Lviv, which is closer to Polish border, and you will feel this energy. In any country, you won't feel this desire to live here and now. And when I'm back to London, to my family, physically I'm exhausted, but my energetic battery is recharged so much because Ukraine has this pulsation of life. So yes, answering your question, Ukraine will recover after the war and will be example, inspiration to many. Yes, Matthew Van der Week. So, return to my point about the president. So Bill Clinton wasn't helpful. Obama, everyone celebrated Obama. He was so great, but not for Ukraine. When Putin invaded east of Ukraine and Putin annexed Crimea, do you know what Obama did? Well, he refused to give any lethal weapon, and he was sending duvets. Yes, and the diplomats from the embassies, which were in Kiev, they all were queuing to the Ukrainian top officials and convincing them not to fight for Crimea, not to fight for the East, because they were saying about Crimea, we will return Crimea via diplomacy. There were the promises. That's why Ukraine sort of like took a breath and actually didn't fight for Crimea like they wanted to. So that's the reality. Hello, hello. AA Ron. Yeah, God bless America. Obama didn't help. In my opinion, Trump, you know, there was the first military aid was delivered during Trump's time, first presidency, but he was using it to block it, and he was blackmailing President Zelensky to get some dirt on Biden's son. Biden, in my opinion, was too slow, too weak, and easy to be frightened, and he, I don't know, have you looked today in the media, there were 3 priorities for so there was just basically helping Ukraine as long as it takes, instead of saying helping Ukraine for the victory. Was it New York Times or Washington Post or Wall Street Journal today? It was like, I've read a lot, it's difficult to identify. So none of those presidents were good. What do I expect? Well, I expect somebody strong and somebody will push Ukrainian interest as far as it's possible. And for me, it was important to talk through about this figure that Americans will pay more if Russia wins, and they will pay by like 800 billions by 2029. Who wants that? None. So let's have a look at the comments and questions you left into the video. So I just remind you, if you haven't watched, please do my conversation with Doug Klain from Rasom for Ukraine. He is also is non-residential fellow for Atlantic Council. Okay, so Henry Ford passionately says, how is democracy under the threat in the US? That's an outrageous lie. For some people, yes. And what I like about this comment, Henry is very passionate about it. And it reminded me 2004, when I lived in Ukraine and there was elections, president's election, and there was two teams. There was Yanukovych team, the blue team, and the orange team, Yushchenko, Democratic. And obviously I was in orange team. And there was the heated and the passion, and it was very difficult to accept somebody from the other team. Oh, hello, Chris. Welcome to chat and to live. Can we trust Zelensky? To Evil to Hope asking, can we trust Zelensky? He had a reporter who criticized him jailed, and he died in that jail. Who's that reporter? First time I hear this. If you just please let me know. I don't think it's true. I mean, Zelensky has his not so favorite reporters, and he has own kind of like heated discussions with them, but he's very much, I don't think anybody was, he's very much criticized. I have to tell, the camp of former President Poroshenko is very strong. They're very much present on YouTube, they on TV channels, and they absolutely merciless to Zelensky, his team, his aides, everything, just everything. He gets so criticized. None of them had died. So if you, I'm not sure it's true, but if you have more information or facts, I'll check it. But I don't think so, it's true. Heroям слава, Chris. Heroям слава, of course. By the way, Trump stole the show, and of course it's American Day. I hope you appreciated my talk. The thing is, today is a quite big day in Ukraine as well, and it's not just because because of American inauguration. Today is celebrated the Memory Day of Cybers, those people who were defending Donetsk airport, and in Ukraine they said the concrete didn't stand or hasn't resisted, but people stayed there, and those people are very heroic. And if you hear about Cybers, these are the heroes. These are great people. They are strong, and I don't know if you have, as an English-speaking audience, thank you, Chris. As an English-speaking audience, I don't know if you have the access to this film about Donetsk airport defenders. It calls Cybers, I think, Kibarhi. It's amazing, amazing film. It's very strong, very powerful, very emotional, and it's so truthful. And I was recommended by a few of my friends' officers who were at war since 2014. And if you want to feel that atmosphere, the truthful, please do watch. I'll make another post or some recommendations about it. I'm just not sure the English-speaking audience have access to it. Evil to Hope says Gonzalo Lira. I'll check it. I've never heard it. I definitely will check this name, and I'll do the follow-up about it. So Chris, you know more about it. The reporter, okay, so Evil to Hope says that reporter who was supposedly criticizing Zelensky, was jailed and died. His name was Gonzalo Lira, and Chris says the reporter was a self-styled pickup artist and was arrested for photographing Ukrainian military installations. He was US, to Evil to Hope comes back and says he was US journalist, tortured, denied medical treatment prior to his death in Ukrainian prison. Not tortured, died of pneumonia. Guys, I don't know this, guys. I will check the story. Maybe we will do another about something about it, either video, either live about it, because I think nobody should die for their job, but journalists should be protected. And I just have nothing to say. It doesn't ring the bell for me. But I will look at it, I promise. Okay, and so today Ukraine sort of remembers the defenders of Donetsk airport and those courageous and heroic people. Okay, let's have a look at the comments again. Karen Hawkins says, changes are coming, but I'm not sure if they're going to be good for the world. Trump is very narrow and self-centered, which is really bad combination. Well, he seems, well, that's Karen's opinion. And, well, we'll see. I mean, it's not only Trump. Look at Russia. I mean, China, North Korea. It's quite a bunch of them. So I think he has a good company there. So they will be having lots of fun together with those leaders. I think it's the time, and we discussed it with Doug, it is macho time in politics. Maybe it's good because they speak the same language. Intelligent. Camila says that's a lie. Okay. Traumflug says, why don't we see solar panels in Ukraine? Solar on each roof is pretty much impossible to destruct and works even during power outages. Okay, on the top it solves the climate crisis. Do you know, I think it depends. It depends on the family, on income. I know many people use it. For example, my friend Lilia Averyanova, she's the mother of the heroic pilot Jews. Actually, we have an interview on my podcast in memory of Jews. And because of this power cuts and everything else, and she asked her friends from Germany to send her like a power bank, which like a solar power bank, something like that. And it's huge, it's in her balcony. She's using it a lot, so I think it's quite popular. But it depends on the income, on the family, and how they sort of, is it worth it? I think after the war finishes and the new the towns, villages, cities come back to life, those which destroyed and became into ghosts, I think they will be very much with solar panels. Ukrainians, they're excited about new houses, new flats, new buildings. So it will be there, Traumflug. So there's no okay. Chris comes back to this discussion about this journalist and recommends to watch Jake Bro. He covered it a few months ago. I'll check myself because I'm intrigued about this journalist, and we will see. We will see if that's what he covered. Okay, let's look. Let's look at your comments. There are comments from the other videos. For example, under the video with Dr. Natalia Leluch, who was helping people after occupation. As soon as the Russian army retreated or pushed over, she would come to the villages in the middle of nowhere and meet those people who were tortured or who lived all these months or weeks under occupation. And the comment was, very interesting conversation as always, but it's great to get awards a doctor especially. Thank you, Ukrainian Jenny Means. You're very welcome. Oh, I have few threads from Russian camp, but I don't take them seriously. Okay. There were quite discussion under Ben Hodges' second interview when we were discussing, is it nuclear war? Do you know when Oreshnik was sent to Ukrainian city Dnipro and Putin was sort of like trying to get a plane with his muscles? So we discussed it with Hodges. Have a look at them. He says it's no, but Putin should be stopped. You're very welcome, Tromflug. And Tromflug, thank you very much for your activity. Actually, YouTube, the supplement to YouTube, sort of from periodically identifying people who did the most comment. And so, Tromflug, you did 41 comments on this podcast. Thank you very, very much. It means a lot. And it's always interesting. It's always makes me think and before answering. And usually it's quite intellectually interesting. So thank you for your activity. Martha. Okay, Martha, 26 comments. Thank you very much. I know Martha usually reacts the first on the posts about the videos coming, which I post. So thank you, Martha, for that. Dominique, 36 comments. Thank you very, very much. There are other people. I recognize you by names and by your nick, but it's not here. It's not in this community spotlight, but I know you are. So thank you everyone for your likes, for sharing, for recommendations, suggestions, even when you don't agree with me and letting me know. It's great. It's okay if we don't agree here with each other. We can agree or agree to disagree. Always, always welcome. If you watched the inauguration of President Trump, please let me know what you think. Oh, thank you. Met you 1 week. I made politics interesting. I'm full from. Oh, please do. I'll try not to make it. Not to make it so boring. Yes. So I just want to remind you that we did some changes on the channel, sort of algorithm. We have to deal with. So on Sunday, I post interviews at 6 o'clock UK time. So. See what time it where you are. Oh, hello Australia. Hello, good morning to you. Australia. And so Sunday, 6 o'clock UK time, and we have 2 lives during the week. Monday, we have just chat, follow up. I'm looking at your comments, suggestions. So like today, we have these discussions about things. And on Thursday, we discuss some current events, 1 or 2 events, and something you leave me in the comments on Monday. So I'll come back to it on Thursday. It's been great. Thank you very, very much being here, and it's always a pleasure. It's very exciting, and yeah, it's the best antidepressant in during this time of the year. Let me know what books about Donald Trump you read, which you would recommend, because there's one book I was trying to find today. If you remember, there's the book called Fury about Donald Trump. I can't remember what was the scandal about it. So my husband bought it and he was very excited to read, but it was unreadable. He wouldn't recommend it and he didn't like it, but I'll find it. Chris says, I watched some of Trump's speech. He vowed to be... Yes, I watched it as well. And then he tried to take Panama. I know he did. Yes, he was sort of like restoring some political sort of like did historical corrections. Yeah, I noticed that. Well, it's Trump. We wouldn't believe if he was a bit different and without that kind of thing. So we'll see. We'll see. It's just those people who wanted him to be president, congratulations. Those who are heartbroken today, stay strong. It's not for long. And let's hope he will do some good for Ukraine, for peace, and people won't die anymore. Have a great evening. It was great to see you, and join me on Thursday, 7:30 p.m. UK time, and let's have fun together. Bye.